Review of the Doors album Waiting for the Sun. It was released in 1968, produced by Paul Rothchild. So this was the last of the Jim Doors albums that I got. I actually don't remember getting this one. It's the only one that I can't remember getting. Yeah, I can't remember where I got it at all, which is crazy because all the other ones I remember like really clearly. For a long time though, this was my least favorite, and maybe that has to do with like the order I got them in. If I had like been able to buy whichever album I wanted of theirs, like in order, this probably would have been the first one I bought because I always thought it had the coolest cover. But I don't know if I would have been like as big of a fan if I got this one first because I just wasn't as into it as some of the other ones. But this is probably also the one that my opinion has changed the most on recently. Probably because I haven't listened to it as much as some of the other ones. It's been the one that I've been going to the most recently, and I don't know if it's still going to be like the last of the Jim ones when I do my ranking or not. You'll have to wait and see. But my opinion on this album's definitely improved a lot. I really enjoy it. I mean, I never thought it was a bad album. I just always thought that it was the weakest of the six, and I still think that it has like at least one of the weakest moments on it of any of them, but I don't think it's as bad as I used to now. So yeah, this album, the band said that they kind of had like the third album syndrome is what they called it. They'd used up all the songs they'd written, so they had to write songs in the studio. And this album just kind of has a little bit of a different feel than the first two albums. It's not as dark. Even though it does have some pretty dark songs on it, it's just got some other ones that have a little bit of a different feel, a little bit different styles. And I do think that makes it really interesting. And I feel like this and the next one are definitely their experimental albums, and that is where they're trying different styles and different sounds and things. The album opens with Hello, I Love You. Never like one of my favorite opening tracks of theirs. I like it. I don't have any problems with it. But it's not one of my favorite Doors songs. I think it's catchy. I like all the playing on it. I think Jim's vocal's good. I mean, all the playing I think on this album is really great. All the drums and keyboards and guitars and everything just sound great. I think Jim sings really well on this album too. The second track, Love Street. This one I've always liked a lot. Got really into it as soon as I got the album. Really love the keyboard parts on it. I like Jim's vocal a lot. I think it's kind of funny. Just a really great song. The third track, Not to Touch the Earth. One of my favorites on here. One of the darkest tracks on here comes from the celebration of the Lizard, which was they wanted to put it on it's this big like Jim kind of poem thing that they set music to, and they were gonna put it on this album, and it was gonna take up a whole side. Then they decided not to, and it is on here as a bonus track, and it's interesting. I like it. There's also live versions of it that are pretty enjoyable too, but this song is the only thing from that made it on there, and it's a weird song. The lyrics are cool. It's got just all the playing, and it's great. Ray has this really cool like organ thing that he does at the end that I've always loved. So yeah, Not to Touch the Earth, great song. One of my favorites on here. Fourth track, Summer's Almost Gone. This one is probably my favorite song on here right now. Just a really great song. I always play it a lot around this time of year, as summer's ending, because it just like really fits that whole thing well. I mean, as the title says. And just the instrumental like performances by everybody on this track are just great, and Jim's vocal's great. So yeah, I love that song. Next, Wintertime Love, which is a waltz, and I really like this one too. Just a really catchy song. I love Densmore's drumming on it. Jim's vocal's great. Just another highlight. Next, Unknown Soldier. And this one I knew from the Greatest Hits, and I've always liked this one. I don't really listen to it a lot because it's just it's a weird song, but I always have enjoyed it. But like on the Greatest Hits, it was weird because it was a song that like I don't know. It was never one of the ones I thought of as like a song that I didn't like, but it was just one that I didn't listen to a lot because kind of the weird structure of it. But I do enjoy it. Uh, the 7th track, Spanish Caravan. Always been a fan of this one. It was on the greatest hits. It's got the cool flamenco guitar thing from Robbie at the beginning, and just a kind of a cool. It's got kind of the cool like dark carnival sound, almost like Strange Days on it. So yeah, I really like that one a lot as well. The 8th track, My Wild Love, is one that I'm not crazy about. I used to really hate this one, and I've gotten to the point where I don't hate it. I can kind of appreciate it, but like they don't have any music to it. They're just kind of like making all the noises themselves, and it just kind of sounds weird. It's just I don't know. It's this weird like chant thing almost, and according to the Wikipedia, at least Robbie apparently hates it. So I don't know. I don't feel that bad about not liking it if Robbie doesn't think it's good. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it as much as I used to. I don't skip it when I'm listening to the album. I let it play, and I can kind of enjoy it a little bit, but I don't think it's ever going to be one of my favorite things. And I do think that it kind of drags this album down a little bit. And then the 9th track, we could be so good together. This one I'm not crazy about either, and it's not that I don't really hate it or anything, and I think that the band gives a good performance on it. I think Robbie has a cool like little solo. But the song itself just kind of seems like it was a little throwaway, and I mean I feel like on the first 2 albums there were like at least 1 or 2 songs that were just a little bit weaker than all the other ones, but they still serve their purpose well enough, and this song is like kind of like one of those songs, but it's just weaker than they were on the previous 2 albums. So this song has always just kind of stood out to me as being maybe just a little throwaway, but at the same time I do enjoy the band's performance of it, so I don't really mind it. Then the 10th track, Yes the River Knows. This one, I've always liked this one. I think it's catchy. I think Jim gives a good vocal. I think the band's performance is good. So Yes the River Knows has always been one that I've liked a lot. And then the final track, 5 to 1, was one that I was familiar with from the greatest hits, and it's always been a favorite of mine. Jim has a crazy vocal on it. Apparently, he was really drunk, and yeah, I guess he sounds like it. But the band gives a great performance on it. It's really pretty heavy track for the Doors, pretty rocking. Great guitar solo from Robbie. Ace really copied it for the Kiss song She. So yeah, it's a great track. Always been one of my favorites. And this album has some bonus tracks on it. It's got a really cool instrumental it's got a really crazy name. I'm not even gonna try to say. I think it's like a classical piece. And then there's like 3 different versions: the Knots Touch the Earth, and then the Celebration of the Lizard, which I already mentioned, which is cool. So the bonus tracks on this album are pretty cool as well. But yeah, Waiting for the Sun. I don't think it's ever going to be my favorite Doors album, but it's grown on me a lot. I think that most of the stuff on there's really only like 2 songs on here that I could kind of do without, and everything else on here I think is really good. I mean, so Summer Is Almost Gone at this point is like close to my favorite Doors song. Not sure if it is or not, but it's up there. So yeah, great album. Probably the weakest so far just because of the 2 tracks on it. But still a great album, still highly recommend it, and I think it has their best cover